We're going to talk a bit more about engrams, and I've got Hayley helping me here today. So one of the things we're going to talk about is if you do bite down on your jaw. For example, we talked about working with an absolute tosser at work and you bite down in your jaw and your muscle gets sore. The body doesn't leave it, that it disposes of that tension. Now, one of the things that happens if you have that happen is that you get what's called a kinetic pathway or a kinetic chain, and you distribute the tension around the body to try and ease the pressure on the jaw. So if the jaw is really tight, the muscle that you tighten down on, the masseter here, disposes of that tension right here into piriformis, hence the saying someone's a pain in the butt. And piriformis is a lateral rotator of the hip, so of the thigh, and what happens is it pulls on the femur and twists it round. So now your leg goes out to the side. Now just get Hayley to demonstrate, take a step forward. So normally we work with these as a hinge. But if you turn that to the side and you walk, so just straighten up that other foot there, Hayley, so it's straight. As you do that and that goes out like that, you'll see that this wobbles. And what happens is that this muscle here gets tight, then this muscle here gets tight, and piriformis in the hip gets tight, and here there's a muscle psoas that goes from there right through to the small of the back. So it loads up in here. Now, when it loads up in here, psoas attaches directly adjacent to the adrenal. And when you have a look at it on a picture, and I've got one here for you to show you today, when you have a look here, you'll see that psoas is this big muscle here, and it attaches adjacent to the adrenals, and it is the primary muscle in fight and flight. So what happens with that is as that loads up, she's pulling on her adrenals, loading them up, and the outer shell of the adrenal can produce up to 40% of a woman's estrone. So this muscle is in load like that every time she takes a step. And just walk across that way for me, Hayley. Every time that'll do, thank you. Every time Hayley takes a step, she's pulling on her adrenals, heaving down on that, and it changes her cortisol levels, that changes her inflammatory response, it can upset her uterus by pulling on the uterine ligament, and her cycle can go out, and it can just make a mess. So what you need to do is work out if you've got that going on. So if you see someone and their foot is going out to one side or the other, if it's right side, it's going to be male. If it's left side, it's going to be female. So you can tell exactly what's going on in their life. Quite annoying when you're walking down the street and watching a couple and you can see that they're just a little bit apart from normal, and the female's legs rotating out to the right and the male's rotating out to the left. You can see they're not talking to each other. So you can have a bit of fun with engrams, but really, if you've got those sort of problems, you need to get them sorted, and you need to get them sorted now.